Hi everyone. I've got something medium excited. No, no. Hi everyone. I'm Kathleen. I'm here at Quilting from the Heart. And today we're talking about this little guy, the needle puller 3-in-1, which my mom was like, Kathleen, we have to get these for the store. And I was like, okay, mom. And I've had it for one day and I'm like, oh yeah, we need these. Magic. So it looks like this. Here we go. Looks like this little doohickey. It's got a little white button that pushes right there, and that activates the needle puller. So we can see that little silver. It's gonna grab our needle. We've got a pusher here, so you can push your needles through with that. There's also a little thread snip. So just quickly talk about a couple ways that I've been using this over the last day. I've been working on 2 different handwork projects right now. This Sue Spargo wool felt project and my Supernova quilt. We've talked about Supernova quilt. We know the excitement level. Also been having a lot of fun with this. Let's talk about how to use this and what I've been doing. So we're gonna start with the wool project. This project uses a lot of the dazzle thread, which I love. It's shiny, it's sparkly, it looks so good on the projects. Pain in the butt to actually use. I find it really tricky to like pull through, especially things like French knots. That's what we're going to talk about anyways, is how I used it. This little snowman here, it's got these shiny, sparkly French knot on his toque, and it was a pain in the butt. So let's talk about how I actually managed to make it work. Let's start with how I wear it. I've got the ring through my middle finger, and then my pointer finger hooked into there. So I wear it like this. Doesn't really get in the way as I'm sewing. I can use my thumb to push the button as I need, but it's also always handy there. So, okay, I've got my French knot. It can be kind of a pain to push it through with this thread. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this thing. This white button is gonna close the white button there. You can see it closing the thread puller there. So I'm gonna stick the needle in the groove, close that thread, and then I can just pull that through. When you're not filming, it works great. Stick it into the groove, push the button and pull through. And just when you're having trouble pushing it through, right? So sometimes for super long drizzle stitches or double cast on stitches, even cast on stitches, you know, sometimes it can be hard to pull that needle through there, especially if you have arthritis in your fingers or your fingers just hurt because you've been sewing too much or for whatever reason. It's a great tool for pulling that through. I did my French knots with it yesterday, and I was like, this is amazing. Now let's talk about how I've been using it with this. So the needle for English hair piecing is much finer, and you know, mostly I don't really need to use the pull. However, this neon stripe fabric, the neon part is it's pigment dyed. So it's dyed a little differently, which makes the way it's dyed, it makes it harder to push a needle through. Not like super hard, but harder. So there were a couple times when I was sewing a pigment to a pigment. So this one, we've got pigment ink both sides. So there's 4 layers of that pigment fabric to go through there. And I had been sewing so much on the weekend that I made a hole in my finger. So my finger is like not doing the best for actual sewing. I can't actually push a needle with my finger right now because it hurts. So I either have to wear a thimble or just be careful. It's actually healed up now, so it's a little better. But there was a time over the weekend here where I just couldn't really use that finger for things. So, okay, so this isn't really a spot where I would need to use this most of the time, but I'm gonna show you because it's really great if you're working with, you know, fabric that's hard to push through or just because you've been sewing too long and your fingers are sore. So I would use this little pusher part to push the needle like that. Then I would use the grabber side to hook on to that needle, push the button, and pull it through. Like I said, 99% of the time, English hair piecing, not super necessary, but that 1% when you're using it, I haven't tried it yet, but I've also seen it being used for hand quilting to help pull things through. Basically anything, you know, needles are hard to hold on to, and if you're having trouble having the grip strength or just your fingers hurt or you just want a cool new toy, highly recommend this little 3-in-1 needle puller. That's what it is. Click the link below if you want to get your own. Like and subscribe if you think I'm awesome, which we know you do, and we will see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.